Hey guys, it's Davis.
And it's Zach.
I don't know what I'm doing.
This is kind of whack. So, before we get started, you know what this freaking dum-dum over here did? We had like this great flow going. We were having a great conversation. Him mostly talking as per the usual.
Yeah.
And we had this great segue into a story. It wasn't even planned or anything.
No, it wasn't.
And then he's like, "We're not recording your audio
Or the video.
or the video."
It was just
I
my
didn't even know
audio.
about
I
that.
was the only thing recording. Let me just make sure that everything's going correctly so that I
Oh my
don't mess up again.
freaking
All
God,
right,
bro.
we're good. I've never screwed up that bad in a long time when it comes to YouTube videos.
Well, it'll be fine, hopefully. Well,
Hey.
it better be fine.
YouTube video / well, we've never done a podcast, so. But yeah, look, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm recording this time, Zach. It'll
You better
be fine.
recording. I know where you live, bro. I'll
You do.
like force
We
feed
used
you
to
bacon.
record this behind my house.
Yeah, but that's not the point. I'm using that as a way to threaten you by force feeding you meat. Okay?
Okay. Let's go through the same order that we did it this time, except let's start with what you were going to say first, and then we'll go into me talking. Or do you want me
Wait,
to
did I
say
say
the thing
anything?
first, and then you say the thing? Your thing. Didn't you have a
My thing?
that you had to say?
Oh yeah, this is how it happened the first time too. Oh yeah, just wanted to give shout out.
To
You know
his
who you are.
new somebody.
You know who you are. You know where you are. And you know why you are.
I don't know why I said
Hey,
it like that,
How you
guys.
doing?
I just don't know how it's working between them, so I'm just not saying anything. I'm just like, I mean, she's in my class, but like, you know.
Oh yeah, so this man over here, he makes his school background the kind of whack subscribe now thing.
Here, I'll put it on screen. It's not anywhere. It's literally called Totally Subtle. I'll put it on screen for you guys on the video side, but yeah.
It's interesting. So that's how that happened.
And basically, this person, she saw this, and she was like, "Oh, I didn't know this existed. I'm going to look it up and see the video where we talk about maybe this person."
She has so much ammo against me now, and she knows she has so much ammo against me
You
now.
know,
'Cause
this
she
is a
said,
good
and I quote,
opportunity
I have
to
so much
say-
ammo against you now.
If you're watching, watch episode 3. Do it. No balls.
Oh
do
no,
it.
she already did.
I
yeah.
hope so, because that is great. She also should watch episode 5 and 4 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 and 11 and 12 and 13 and 14 and 15 and 16. That's all of them, by the way. Oh, I forgot about
don't have
1
enough
and the
fingers
pilot.
for that.
And 2.
I
I
have
think
enough
we
fingers
got
for
them all. This is episode... Oh, no. 17. This is episode 18. Did I get them all? I think I got them all.
that. You better have gotten them all, because I stand by that threat of force feeding you meat.
You can't force
I
feed
really-
me
I-
meat.
I need to
I will arrest you for assault.
That's
For
not
a
assault.
single assault. Just
You're gonna just arrest me for doing assault.
yeah,
Okay.
for assault. For assault. That's so stupid.
Okay.
That's so,
So
dumb.
dumb. That is so dumb.
Jinx. We're so similar in every way. All right.
It hurts. Getting back to the thing, there was a story.
Yeah,
that
but
was
before
scary.
that, I wanted to say I got an UNC and NC State. That's
Oh, yeah, yeah,
cool
yeah.
because we have already said this, so it's kind of hard for me. But
They have low
basically,
acceptance rates.
it's like a 20-something%, and it's cool to
Dos
get
dos.
into UNC because it's a great school, and I'm really honored. And NC State as well. I don't know what their acceptance rate is, but it's really low. And so thank you. If you are watching, I doubt it. If any of you people from UNC or NC State are watching, thank you. If not, okay, but thank you nonetheless if you are watching, because I really do appreciate it. And I don't know where I'm going to go yet, but I have until May, so you'll find out.
You'll figure it out.
Yep.
You know, I think I know. He's going to the one that you're from. That's the
Yeah.
best way to get him. because it
Yeah,
makes
yeah,
me
yeah,
think
yeah,
that,
yeah.
you know, like they're
What
all,
if
you
you're
know, you know how it
watching?
works.
That's where I'm
You know what I'm talking
going.
about.
Hey, if you're on the
Exactly.
YouTube side and you post in the comments that where you're from, that's definitely where I'm going.
Exactly. If you say he's going to the Alps and studying alone, shaving his head and learning Shaolin martial arts, then that's where he's
Don't
going and
think I
what he's
will.
doing.
I'm not gonna shave my head unless we hit 500 subscribers.
Wait. Oh yeah, 500 and you do it, 1,000 and we both do it.
Yeah. So,
Stand by
yeah,
that.
just yeah. Yep, yep. All right.
Yep. Yep.
Topic. What were we talking? Ah, beach.
The beach. The
I've
beach party. No.
luckily I've had time to think over the story and therefore being able to give it in a more elegant light. No, it's not going to be
Eloquent,
elegant. I'm horrible with speaking.
potentially. Oh,
I'm horrible with speaking. You know this.
a horrible with the speaking.
Yes. Anyway, I didn't even say that, but okay.
Oh, well,
I
I'm
said
deaf.
I am
Let's
horrible
continue.
with speaking and you were like, "I am horrible with speaking."
Okay, I didn't do an accent, but continue or at least start the freaking story.
Start the story anew for the second time for us.
For the second
Okay.
time.
So, we figured this out already, but it was summer of 2020, about July.
It was the summer of 16.
Let me paint a picture for you. Summer of 2020 in July, I was taking a math class, and that's irrelevant to this part of the story, but it's a thing. So my mom's boyfriend, Lewis, goes to the beach every year, for summer. They do it about the same time every year, and it's basically he goes with his kids and my mom and whoever, and sometimes me and my brother, aka this was the first year that we had gone, because usually we had a conflict, but Corona cleared everything up, so we were able to go.
I mean, hey, if you need
Um,
something to clear your schedule,
I
Corona
guess,
will
but
do
the
it for you.
problem is that Corona existed at
Yeah.
all. And so I was worried originally because I was going to go because I wanted to, because it was my first time. It was the only time I was able to go. But I was still a little apprehensive because the idea of going to a beach during this time where everybody else wanted to get out of the house and go to the beach frightened me a little bit because if you know, back in July and August, beaches were hot spots. Not
Oh
necessarily
yeah,
that beach, but Myrtle Beach and some bigger.
like the big name beaches, especially down in
Oh,
Florida,
I'm sure
I
Florida was
think.
a mess.
Yeah,
Hmm.
there was quite a few incidences of
A lot of
very crowded
breakouts.
locations and no masks.
Yeah.
So,
So because and I will be honest, there were parts of the beach that were very crowded. Like just tons of people. We luckily got a spot that was not as crowded, which is great. But basically, Lewis goes there and he started going there I think I don't know how many years ago. I think back when his children were still living with him. I don't know. They're either in college or they're out of college now. But anyway, back a while ago, he started going, and eventually, after a few years, they started to meet the neighbors around them in the place that they stayed, and they eventually like started this group where they would like all like hang out together because they were all right next to each other anyway. So then they would always stay in the same places and stuff like that. You okay?
yeah, just a little bit of rice. Continue.
Are you eating?
No,
You ate like 30 or 40 minutes ago.
don't worry about it.
Did you have some like India gums that just finally dislodged and then it went in the wrong hole? Wrong pipe?
I'm not gonna confirm or deny that because that's disgusting.
Okay.
Yeah, continue.
Anyway, so that usually happened, and it was the first year that we were able to go, my brother and I. So we were like, okay, I guess we'll meet these people that we don't know and stuff. And there were like kids there and stuff, but it was really awkward to be honest because we were not similar at all. But I mean, this is kind of irrelevant to the story I was making, but it is kind of relevant because it's the whole thing. But over the entire trip, we kind of were very. Me and my brother are kind of shy when it comes to new people, but we've sort of tried to hang out with them. But they weren't really. What's the word? They not. What's the way of saying this? Like they just weren't the people that we normally hang out with. They weren't nerdy enough. That's not in a weird way. It's just true. Like Zach and I are very similar,
Oh my god, we're such freaking. We
and
might as well get nerd tattooed on our
I
faces.
don't want to get that tattooed on my face.
I didn't
Thank
say I
you.
wanted to, but we should.
Why should
There's a
we?
difference. It it's a calling card. They'll know people, the world.
Okay, hold on one second.
Oh my
Uh,
god.
but
Okay, while he's taking
we
this
just
minute.
started.
Okay, look at me. It's time to
Okay, you sure?
understand
Sorry.
why. I don't know what I'm saying, but it's over now.
What are you saying?
Don't worry
She
about
was
it. They
saying
know.
dinner's ready, but it's fine. Okay. Where was I in the story? Okay, right. We were not. We just weren't similar. They seem more like, and not like they seem more like the. I don't know. They just had different likes and dislikes from us, and we instead sat inside. Well, obviously we went to the beach and stuff, but we were also the kids who like went in the water, whereas they just sat there and looked at the water. And I was like, all right. I mean, to be fair, it was very cold. And they went in they didn't go in as much as we did. Basically, we tried to go in like every day, like maybe twice a day. They went in maybe once a day or
You got
so.
your water watchers and you got your water touchers. Now there's a fine disparity there now. One people, they get a nice glimpse of that water off on the horizon, all fancy and
I
sparkling
think that
like.
they just it was like it, okay, to be fair, that week was horrible. It was raining a lot of the time. Like it was raining most days, so there like we didn't get in the water every day, but because it was raining some days, it was cold outside the water a few days. It was just not a good day, not a good week, basically. And there's more reasons why it wasn't a good week that we'll get into, but they just weren't really our style. Like nothing bad against them. They seem like nice people. It's just they didn't really understand. They weren't into what we were into, basically. That's all. And there's nothing wrong with that. People are different. We don't hang out with everybody at our school.
What
Either
are you
they don't
talking
like
about? I'm
us
friends with
or
every single person.
either they don't like us or we don't like them. And that's just how it works sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, if you're from the class and Davis pulled you here, hey,
Hey. And I mean,
you're
I'm
probably
friendly
someone we
with
like.
most of the people in our senior class. Like
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
Our
don't
senior
like
class
I
is a good
don't
class.
hate anybody, obviously. I don't dislike anybody. It's just that we don't vibe that well together. And that's completely fine. That's a thing. You make your own friends. And I found this guy. Great.
Hey, hey.
Anyway, yeah. So we stayed in a place and it was fine. We brought Guitar Hero, as I said, which is fun. A lot of like co-op mode or like battle mode because Lewis's son we actually got his Guitar Hero. That's where we got it. We got his guitars, and I don't know if we got his copy or if we found a copy, but either way, yeah. So we were playing with him as well. It was fun, but that wasn't every day. But anyway, that leads us into the other thing because the Lewis's son transition. So there was another family there who I'm guessing I don't know. There's gonna be some holes in the story because I don't know everybody because it was my first time going. B I wasn't told every single detail. I tried to be as informed as possible. B it was like months ago. So I mean it was literally
Wait.
July. So that's
Now,
like
correct
half
me
a
if I'm
year
wrong.
ago.
But that's two B's.
See? This
Hold on.
shows how
How
brain
the
fried I
alphabet
am.
works, Chief.
Shh. It's fine. It's fine. Anyway, I got this. I'm gonna finish the story. It's fine. Anyway,
Okay.
where was I? Right. So cake. So he was. So I think that Lewis's son and his girlfriend had another place to stay because they brought their dogs, and they were walking their dogs, and they walked by the house of another group that was staying there, that was part, or another family that was part of the big group, or like normally was hanging out with the big group, right? And so they were talking outside, and then they invited him in, and I think they gave him cake and stuff. And like all that sounds okay, I guess, but like the fact that none of them were masked at all is already difficult. I think they weren't masked. From what I remember, they weren't masked, which is what made it scary because the group's daughter had been hanging out with either her boyfriend's roommate or all three of them were hanging out together or something. And I think her boyfriend's roommates had felt bad like a day or so after they had hung out. And so he went and got tested for COVID, right? So then he comes back and he's positive. The day that he's tested, she starts feeling bad. So gets tested. We don't find out about this until the day after they were hanging out. Till the day after Lewis's son was with them. So we freak out a little bit because they're all together. Like, or by all I mean that family has their daughter there, right? So we're all worried because that means that Lewis's son could be exposed to the virus because they weren't masked or anything, from what I remember. And that was scary because he had then that night come back to where we were staying and hung out with us because we figured it was fine, you know? And then the next day we find out about all of that stuff and we're sitting there. This is like, I think Wednesday. So this is like day 3 or 4 of the trip. And by this point we had all settled in. We were like, so are we going to leave or are we going to stay? And basically Lewis's son went and got tested. Everybody was flipping out. And it was the fact that there was such blatant not care, like disregard for this virus at all. Like they just didn't care that their daughter might have it and they might be spreading it to these people. Another thing that was horrible is that another one of the parents in the group had just had like chemo or something and was super sensitive.
Ooh, that's
And we were just, every single person after finding that out was a little more cautious. You know what I mean? Like we were not, we stopped hanging out with that group of family. They were stayed away. It was done because there was another story where that family was going to go with their sick daughter on some like scuba diving adventure or something like that. But it got canceled due to bad, like they were on the boat they were at the checkout place getting ready to go, and the only reason they didn't go is because of bad weather.
because COVID first and foremost is like a respiratory thing. You don't want to scuba with a virus. That's like, I mean, that's not the number one rule of life because most people don't think scuba and virus. It doesn't make sense. But still, common.
No,
sense.
but it was the fact that they're going to be on this tiny boat with other people.
Oh, because it wasn't like a private booking or anything. It was like a large.
With a few, I don't know how
Come
big
on.
it was, to be honest. I doubt it had to be that big because I know that there's COVID protocols, but still,
Probably more than one group at least
Yeah.
per.
was gonna be there.
Ooh.
Oh, lag. They were gonna be exposing all these people. it was a mess. Oh
That's
shoot,
just
I forgot to turn this light on.
come
Oh,
on,
there we go.
like-
Now you can see me.
oh boy.
Yeah. So it was a mess and a half. And safe to say everyone was worried. So
You're
Luce-
okay though. That was
Yeah,
fine.
no,
It
nothing
was fine.
happened. Lewis's son went and got tested. I think his girlfriend might have also gotten tested. Because they were staying together and stuff like that. But everything turned out fine. It stayed there. Nobody else got it. Luckily, we were all super worried. So, yeah. Luckily, everything was fine. Yeah.
Good. I mean, wow. That's just come on. Just use the brain,
Mm-hmm.
please.
I just,
I that,
to be fair, like, well, not to be fair, but back in the early days, back in July, after like 4 months, even though it was still like 4 months in and people were like, oh, this is a serious virus. Some people there was a blatant disregard. And I feel like while there is some of this left, like the whole not wearing a mask in a store thing, there's more. I feel like more awareness. More. Not
it depends
100%.
on the location, but generally speaking, I think there is more awareness. But some people are still.
Oh my gosh, dude. Rural communities?
They just still don't care.
Rural communities are screwed right now. Sorry for all you rural people. But a lot of you don't care. And that's why the rural places are having the most issues right now. Is because, which doesn't make sense. Usually you would think that like rural places wouldn't have that many things, but they hang out with people.
Are you sure about that? Because I thought it was like the metropolises and stuff like that.
Well,
that were
yeah.
having
But I
the
mean,
biggest
like,
issues.
no, but I'm talking about like right now, they are starting to ramp up.
Oh, okay.
Like they weren't like that before, and now they're starting to rise in the numbers. So
That was very theatrical. Okay.
yeah.
Rise!
Rise!
COVID-19.
What
No
is it, a
questions.
zombie?
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, and not to put you in a category, but I feel like it was a lot of like, I don't know. I feel like it was just, I don't mean to offend anybody, but I feel like back then it was really bad. Like a lot of people just didn't care. They blatantly did not care.
Mi madre was asking about kale.
Kale?
Yes.
Like the leaf.
Yes, like the leaf.
Oh. All right.
Kale. Okay. Yeah, you were saying.
I don't know what I was saying. I was saying, just wear a mask, guys. This is real. Yeah. I know this is a story from like months ago, but that wasn't the only thing going on in my head that made it a bad evening, not a bad weekend, but a not amazing weekend or week.
Not a Gouda cheese a weekend.
As I said, I was also taking math. Did I say what math in this recording? I don't remember.
You didn't.
MAT,
It's Matt something.
MAT 172 or all electronic or online, I mean, or pre-calculus trig. Now, the reason I was able to do this is because usually I have a hecka busy summer, right? But this year everything was canceled. And so there were two options ahead of me in the senior year to come in the fall. And there was two options. There was one, just take calculus because you'll place out of MAT 172 anyway. Or two, take it during the summer and get the credit out of the way. I was like, okay, I'll do that. And I was also like, this will refresh me on trig. This will be good. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. That was the worst class I have ever taken. I hope this person isn't watching. I hope this person isn't watching. It might not have been the worst class I've ever taken, but it was definitely the hardest class I've ever taken. Just because, A, it was a completely online math, which is already hecka hard. B,
Hecka hard,
the
man.
teacher did not teach as much as I wish. And C, it was the summer. I wasn't motivated. I'm going to go into each point individually. Some are going to overlap, but that's just what it is. Let's start with 1. I don't even remember what 1 was. What was 1? I don't know, dude. Frig. I forgot already. I'm good at this. Anyway, it was something like it was online. That's what it was. It was on online math. That's what it was. I'm sorry, okay? I lose track. I'm like a friggin', I don't know, squirrel or something. It's just as soon as I see something else, I'm like, if you're not on the if you're on the audio side, I looked over dramatically. Like the movie Up with the dogs were like squirrel. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You've seen Up,
Eh,
right?
Yeah, but the squirrels aren't the ones that are. I digress.
Close
Continue.
enough. I just thought of the word, okay? God. Anyway, what was I talking about? Never mind.
The points that
So-
you don't remember.
Right. So it was online math, and that's really hard because you don't have instruction most of the time. Like your teacher, you don't have like in-person instruction where you can just walk up to the person and be like, "Hey, I don't really understand this equation." It's really hard right off the bat, right? They're giving us videos, and my experience. This was my first online class with like this from my college, my community college. So they were like, I'm going to give you these videos. You got to do these assignments in my math lab, this kind of stuff. I was like, okay, this is down. All right. I already did my 171 credit pre-calculus algebra. So, or pre-calculus algebra. Yeah. There's 2 parts of pre-calc, by the way, algebra and trig. So I already took algebra, and in that, there was I did a hybrid class, which was basically because I didn't have any time to leave school, I would go to the class on Mondays from 6 to 9 or 5 to 8, something like that. I don't remember, dude. It was a long time ago. And yeah, that's basically, that was the class. So it was part person where I could go up to her and talk and ask her questions and get notes and ask her questions and stuff like that. And then other half was taking those notes and then doing online work and stuff like that. Okay? So I was like, got this. Online, aced it. I got this. I'm so confident. Oh boy. This was like jumping in. This was like going from the hot tub to jumping into a ice cold pool. If you don't do this, it's both. It's funny most of the time, but like
It's
when you do it in a
uncomfortable.
pool, it's great because I don't know why. It's funny, but this was not funny because it was hard. Because he only gave us 2 videos, maybe 1, depending on the week. Okay, he said read the book and watch the videos. I was like, okay, I got this. Oh, and do the homework. And he was like, that'll prepare you. I was like, got this. I ain't reading no book. Who do you think I am? Ha! Reading books. Huh. Well, that was a mistake. Let me just tell you right now, that was a mistake. If your online class especially, read the book. Just do it. It'll save you so much heartbreak. Hey guys, welcome back to the Music Minute portion of the thing where we talk about music that we enjoy.
Yay. Huzzah.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't know.
What? You just got really
Wackhead,
quiet all of
kick
a
it off.
sudden, and I was really confused.
Yeah, no, you're lagging out a bit for me, so it was like choppy, but it's fine.
Okay, sorry,
Well,
we're
yeah,
having some
kick it off,
internet
Davis.
issues. It
It's
is
to
what
be
it is.
expected.
What have you been listening to lately, Zach?
Uh, Mainly the same stuff. A friend of mine though, he's kind of nerdy, geeky, he's tall. He introduced me to this really good song. It's in Nate Wants to Battle original album. You can't take me anywhere. No, it's can't take me anywhere. That's
No,
what it
it's
is.
Take Me Anywhere. Ah,
Well, you know what? Hey, this
I
guy's a
I know the
freaking
entire album, so it's not fair. Yeah, Paid in Exposure. That is a
great album.
wonderful album. That's so good. I love that album. I
Oh yeah.
the reason that this happened is because recently I went back and I was just like, what albums haven't I listened to in a while? You know what? Paid in Exposure is an amazing album. I'm gonna go back and listen to that because it's awesome. So go check that album out if you like
Oh yeah.
that style of music. Although there's a lot of styles of music in there. There's like a ballad song. It's mostly he does mostly like punk rock style, but there's other things like Sleight of Hand is not really punk rock. I don't know if you know that song, but
Because something I noticed was at least Take Me Anywhere has a very Panic at the Disco feel to it in terms of like the way he's singing and the beats and the overall
yeah,
sound to
he
it.
definitely has he definitely has a lot of inspiration from them because he's actually
Mhm.
done like multiple covers of their songs, and I don't blame him. They got some
I
good
mean, yeah.
songs. And that whatever his name, I don't remember, the lead
Brendan
singer
Urie.
guy. Yeah, he's really good.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, go check
What you been
out
listening to?
Paid in Exposure by Name Wants to
Great
Battle.
album.
Yeah.
What
Okay, enjoy the
yeah,
rest of the
okay.
podcast. Anyway, not heartbreak. What? Anyway, I got my heart broken. Anyway,
But because I don't know if we said this before, but I'm class rank 11 and you're class rank 12.
sure.
This class is what made the difference.
Is it? I feel like we were
I
that
thought that's what
already.
you told me before. I don't
Maybe.
know.
Could have been. I don't remember. It's been a long time. That was a long time ago. But I believe it.
Yeah.
If it is. So, here's the thing. I think I've only had one B in my entire high school career, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But that was just because it was a hard class. It was a Spanish class. I'm not amazing with foreign languages or anything. Yeah. But this class was something else. You get 1 to 2 videos a week, and they weren't that helpful. But okay, I shouldn't say that. They were probably helpful if you took notes.
Ah.
I didn't take any
about
notes.
that though.
So that was accident 1. That was accident 1. Accident 2. I didn't read the book until the final exam. That's number 2. Accident 3 is I thought that if I just did all the homeworks and watched the videos, I'd be completely fine. Wrong. Wrong. Hecka wrong. No.
Yeah.
So here's the problem. I'm going into this homework, right? I'm like, now it's made so that you can do it over and over again so that you get the concepts, right? And it actually really helped because I'd be able to take notes off of that, right? Turns out those
Right,
notes
right.
weren't sufficient enough for the final test. And here's why this coincides so greatly. Because this was the second test. I had the second test during that week of the course, right? And I forgot to say this, but summer classes are usually condensed a little bit by like 2 or 3 weeks, 4 weeks, maybe. I would say 2 or 3 weeks. So you're having to do this at a faster pace, which makes it a lot harder.
Yeah,
Not
you have
gonna
to
lie.
chug information. It's
Yeah.
it's breakneck.
So basically, I was freaking out a little bit because but also I wasn't at the same time, which was another mistake, as I wasn't really studying all that much, and I thought just doing the review over and over again would help. So I did the review over and over again, and I was like, all right, this is good. I got this. I got this. The tests are timed, people. And I hate timed tests, especially in math. I get that it has to be timed, but it's hard. Especially when you're doing trig. This is my least favorite trig unit as well. Because you basically have to take a formula and you have to say, how do you get this formula to this formula? Now, write out the steps. So basically, I had to do all of it by hand and on the screen, and then send him pictures of the thing, which makes sense because he takes credit from that. Oh boy. Oh boy. I didn't even finish on time. And I was talking to another person that was also taking the class. They didn't finish on time either. That unit was so hard. I got a 40% on that test.
Ooh.
That dropped my grade.
Yeah. Ooh.
So, it was a hard class, and it was basically like it was throwing me in a pool of ice in a pool of ice water. It was something that I had never had to deal with in my life before. Having to reach out to the teacher, having to make sure that I was going to get what I needed. That was completely new to me. But it was something that I had to do. Second test. First test, I got an 80. I was like, that's fine. Second test, 40. Okay. All right. But to be fair, it was during vacation, so like my brain was somewhere else most of the time, but no excuses. I thought I was doing good. Anyway.
Yeah, because we have like similar grades we do similarly in terms of like academics and schoolwork. So I assume you've had a similar experience. We've been able to like not necessarily coast through high school, but we haven't had like a ridiculously hard time turning in assignments or trying to keep up our grades. It's like we have to work, but it's not at a level where we're like spending so much time up until we hit these like college level courses. Because I know I just am experiencing the same thing right now with my AP statistics course. It's where it's like, oh wow, I need to do so much time and I have to have so much effort into this to make sure I can actually just even keep up rather than doing it like, oh yeah, I got this, pumping out whatever amount of work I need to in a specific amount of time. So it's a shift.
Yeah.
It's a shift.
It definitely is. And it was hard. It was hard to understand that new side, but I also had to realize that this is what college is like. The teacher's not going to reach out to me and say, hey, you're struggling. Do you need some help? No, they're not going to do that. You got to go to them. So I was like, well, that sucks. Guess I got to study more. So third test rolls around. We're past the beach trip now. I'm just going to continue talking about this journey that I had now to hopefully help some of you out there who are also struggling with their online classes. So, third test rolls around. A few weeks later. I think, all right, I've started taking some notes. All right, I got it this time. Bam. Finished the test on time. Got all the things down. Bam. Raw score is 60%. Oh. Okay. Turn in my work. A little stressed. Because at this point, I already have a D in the class. Which makes sense, because tests are like 20% of the grade. 50% of the grade. My bad. I'm thinking, oh, I'm screwed. All right. I turn in my work. 75%. Oh, God. Oh, God. At this point, I'm hecka stressed. I go, Mom, I may have to drop this class. Because at this point, I have a C in the class. So I can take a COVID pass, which is basically like pass-fail.
Yeah, it's a PC-19 code or whatever,
Right.
and it means that because of COVID, you opted to, like, if you have a passing grade, which is a C or higher, then you can just say, yep, I passed the course because I'm passing right now, and you get credit, and that's it.
So there were technically three options. There was one option, drop the class, nobody has to see it. I've gotten all that I basically need for calculus. I don't need anything else, which I thought, but I actually need a little bit more. But I'll get into that. There were, three options. One was that. Two was stick it out, and if I get a C, I'll take a pass-fail. Okay? Third option. Do everything that I can to get a B in the class by making a high B on this test. I didn't know which of the three to choose. Well, two of them are kind of the same. It was basically stay in the class or don't. So I said to my mom, I don't know. I honestly don't know what to do. And she said, I think that you should have a conference with the teacher. And I was like, you're probably right. And I talked and I emailed him. I was like, hey, I'm really doing bad in this class. Can we just talk for a minute? He was like, sure. So we got on the phone, not on the phone, but like a Google Meets actually. And he was like, hey, we were like talking and we were like, yeah, I don't know what to do. And I can either just drop it or take a pass fail or something. And he was like, in my opinion, I feel as though you should continue because there is, and honestly, I didn't really like this teacher in just the way his videos are. I didn't like that there were so few of them. But that's just me. But he seemed like a really nice guy. It wasn't like I hated him because he was horrible or anything, and I don't really hate him. I just didn't really like his teaching style. But I called him up and I was like, hey, we were talking, and he told me the two options, which were those, and he was like, I think that you should stay because there's a big chance that you cannot get lower than a C anymore because that 40%, which I think got raised to something like a 60, with my work, that will be booted if you get a better score than that because the lowest test grade gets taken out. So he was like, this is how it is. And I think that if you get, because we did the math and it was basically if I did an 85 or 84 or something or above, I would get a B in the class because the lowest grade would be dropped. I couldn't get an A at this point. It just wouldn't happen. But I wasn't shooting for an A. I was shooting for a B because I know that that's what colleges are looking for. Or if you get a C, you can take a pass fail and the colleges won't know. They won't know what the grade was. And you can just blame it on COVID. And I was like, okay, you're probably right. I think it's probably a good idea to stay. At this point, I had like 2 days left. So at the end, I took some time. It took about a day to think about it. And I emailed him. I was like, all right, I'm staying in the class. I'm going to get this B. We're going to do it. We're going to work. So that was the last 2 weeks of school was basically cramming for this test. And you know what? It was all worth it though. Because I did actually end up eking out a B in the class. So, yeah. It's one of those things where I wish I had done more in the beginning. And with COVID, it was a double whammy of summer break and low motivation just from COVID. So I will say, because of that, I think I did pretty good. I know that all A's is like, people are like, oh, you should get all A's. But I think for what it was, I think a B is pretty dang good. And
oh yeah.
So yeah, I think for all of you people out there struggling, I don't think it's fair to expect the exact same amount of effort that you normally do. And just from my personal experience, you're not going to be as motivated. And I'm not motivated now. It's hard for me to get up to go to class. But I think that it is important for you to try as hard as you can to get the best grades you can. Because otherwise, there are a bunch of opportunities that you might miss out on. And I think that it is a good thing for you guys to work. I know that's hard. I know it's hard, especially right now. But
And one thing that's really important is like do your best, but don't overdo it.
sure,
Do it
yeah,
to a point
definitely.
where it's healthy, because that's where I'm kind of meeting myself right now. Because I could work for, I don't know, 12 hours a day just to make sure I'm hitting things like in a certain way, so I'm keeping up and everything. But that's just not healthy. I can't physically do that and maintain a healthy sleep schedule or just a sound mental state. So you have to take little breaks sometimes. You need to give yourself time, but you also need to do the best that you can do
Right.
in any given situation.
And hey, right now the best might not be the best. and that's completely understandable. This time is hard for people, and I get that. But
Yeah.
do the best you can, and that includes all of your mental stuff. Do the best that you can physically do in the moment, because having like there are going to be times when you're thinking about just giving up, and there's probably a better solution that you can't think of at the time. So just sometimes sticking it out and can actually help. And I feel like if I hadn't have done that and hadn't have gotten that B, it would have been weird for the colleges to look at that PC-19 and been like, I wonder why they didn't show this thing. Must have gotten a
Because the
B
thing
in
is,
or C.
you can always like stick it out and then you have your opportunities like still available. But if you make a final decision without like waiting to see, you don't have a choice. It's not available to you anymore. So if you can, always try to keep your options open, even if it's something that you feel uncomfortable or slightly
Says
uncomfortable. If it's
you
something
with
that's,
the Elon.
what are you talking about, bro?
Keep my options open.
Oh, but that's like my top school, so that doesn't matter.
True. Oh my gosh, hi. Yeah, I know, but it's just very different because I was like, yes, I want to apply to all of these schools, and
All of these locations.
maybe I'll get in. If I get into multiple, I'll have to make a choice, but it's better than selling my soul away to the devil and having to go
sold
to
my
one
soul.
place.
Honestly, he's a lovely guy. I had to sign in blood. I brought my own dagger. It was okay. He gave me a butterscotch.
Fair.
We met at a Wendy's, so
Wendy's?
I got lunch after.
I haven't been to Wendy's in a long time.
Honestly, though, I get too much Wendy's. I live 2 minutes down the road from a Wendy's, so we do Dungeons and Dragons every Saturday, and most of the times on Saturday, I'll be like, I'm just gonna go down, get some dinner, and then I'll be back. So I'll just be sitting there talking to the guys. I can't do it because I have my desk in standing mode, but essentially, I'll put my foot all the way up there. I don't know why I'm bouncing. I'll have my arm sitting on my little banister over here, Coke in left hand, burger in the right hand, and I'll be like, okay, so you guys going down that street, right? Okay, so I get it like 4 out of 5 times.
That can't be healthy, dude.
Oh, probably not. Not probably. It's definitely not.
I mean, I don't
Like,
eat fast food very often because there's not very many choices for me, but you know.
you
Somebody
love
got to
meat,
make a vegetarian fast food joint. Somebody's got to do it.
dude, the Impossible Burgers though.
True. The
Like
Whopper,
those
the Impossible
slap.
Whopper is good. You gotta say,
Oh, yeah.
you gotta say a little mayo though. You gotta say less mayo.
Oh my god, you have that problem with Burger King too? Every Burger King I've ever gone to, you say light mayo and they give you a regular amount of mayo. If
Right.
you ask for a regular amount of mayo, they'll give you like 50 million gallons of mayo on one burger.
I like mayo in small doses, but not that much.
When I'm eating something with mayo on it, I just don't want whatever I'm eating to be dry. I don't want to taste the mayo, like as the primary flavor.
I will say, yeah, I agree with that. I agree. Burger King, fix yourself. No, I'm kidding. But
Change your freaking mayo portions.
it's
Come on.
definitely it's good though. It is a good sandwich. Hamburger.
Oh my, yeah. I mean, and it tastes very, very close to a real burger.
I
mean,
don't- I
the
wouldn't
difference
know.
is
I believe
because
you.
you've never had a real burger, right? It's honestly because you know how it has that like a slight smoky flavor almost.
Sure.
You know what I'm talking about?
Well, yeah, because you put it on a grill with smoke.
Yeah. I mean, the Impossible Whopper, yeah.
Because
But
they char
like
it, don't they?
I think so. But like reduce the smokiness factor by like 2, and that's how regular burger tastes, in my opinion. So it's pretty good.
I don't know. I legit don't know. I definitely am the guy that will like recommend you veggie burgers because veggie burgers are good.
Have you already done that? Like, haven't we both recommended black bean burgers on like three
I don't
separate
know.
occasions at this
Maybe
point?
I don't know if we've done
Because
it on the
black bean burgers
podcast.
slap though. Like, let's be
So
real here.
Morningstar, if you don't know what that is, it's
Oh
like
yeah.
a vegetarian stuff. But if you're gonna get a veggie burger, don't think of it as a burger. Or think of it as a burger, sure, but don't think of it more not as a hamburger. Don't think that it's gonna taste like that. That's not most of the time what it's
You're
gonna
gonna be
taste like.
disappointed.
It's its
It-
own thing. It's its own great thing. There's this Morningstar does this Chipotle black bean burger
Oh, I still need to try
that
that.
destroys your mouth hole, but is so good. I not hate. I just don't like tons of spicy things. I just don't have a large tolerance. But that burger, I will burn my face off eating it. I love it so much. The flavor is so good, but it's so hot, but it's so good. Yeah.
That's how I feel with Have you ever had jalapeno poppers?
No.
Dude, they're so good, but I'm very weak to spiciness too.
Yeah.
We don't have the
But you're
we don't have the usual dynamic where it's like one of us is really good with spicy foods and one of us is no.
no.
I'm
we're
bad.
just both wimps.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
The audio people can't see it, but whatever.
Oh,
it's fine.
here. Okay, imagine an Asian jack-o'-lantern
What?
grinning very, very wide,
What jankle?
and then put a thumbs up emoji next to it. And that's kind of what it looks like.
Okay. All right, buddy.
No further questions, Your Honor.
You're weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not gonna lie. Oh.
I mean, I've known you for 4 years now,
I know.
and you're just figuring this
4
out.
years?
Yeah.
It's been a long
It's been
time.
4 years
It's been
now.
a long time. It's been a long time coming. I feel like we've grown closer in these past 2 or 3 years than anything else.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah, since sophomore year, really.
yeah.
Like
Back
the
when
end of
we
sophomore year,
started,
too.
when this whole thing started.
Yep.
I wonder
Oh,
if
and
we'll ever.
if he's watching, because he might be watching.
Oh
yeah?
yeah, that'd be funny. He said he watched.
Shout out to our teacher.
Yeah, our English teacher. He said he watched 10 minutes of one of ours, and he said that he enjoyed it. So that's good.
Hey, high five.
He said he listened to it. Yeah. Hopefully, I mean, I don't know
Okay.
if he'll be an avid watcher, but
If he is, then I must say, man, where did you get the freaking catchphrase? Oh, all of my little birds come home to roost. I really want to know.
he kept
Because you
that.
said that
He
every
kept that
day.
in AP
Every
Lit.
day.
He said that at the first semester of AP Lit. He kept
Every
that.
freaking day of
Yeah.
English 2. And we walk in the door and it's like, oh, my little birds come home to roost. What are you talking about? I
Yeah.
need to know. Please.
I think it's so funny because I don't know if we'll ever release this podcast, but we made a podcast, which you said before, which is how this kind of started, in there. But he definitely listened to both of ours, which I think were about an hour. So he listened to
Yeah.
about 2 hours of us talking, which is dedication. I don't know if he listened to the whole thing, but
I mean, it
if
was
he
our
did,
final
shout out
grade,
to
so
you.
I don't know if he wanted to, but he
I
did.
doubt it. I doubt he wanted to, but you know what? Thank you for being our English teacher. He's actually taught me a lot about writing, like literary analysis papers. So, you know, which is what AP Lit is about. So, you know, I'm doing all right in that class.
Hey, wait, did you just tell me? Hear me out. Did you just tell me that AP literature is about literature?
Yeah, it's about literary analysis. Yeah, I know it's crazy.
I'm stunned. I don't know what to tell you. That's incredible. Is it too late to join? I didn't know that. I thought it was
Kind
about
of like, yeah, because
I
it
don't know.
was first semester through seconds, but yeah, okay. It's a little late.
I could catch up.
Good luck. All right, that's all the time we have. But thank you guys for watching or listening. And if you guys are here on the YouTube side, you know, hit the subscribe button, hit that like button. If you're on any other side, hit that follow button, hit that star or whatever to keep up with us because we do this every Sunday from
Every
at
Sunday?
9 a.m. Yeah.
9 a.m. every Sunday.
I remember when our English teacher saw this, he was like, "You guys have 17 episodes?" I was like, "We do things
Yeah, we
around here.
do.
We do things here. We keep up.
We're
We're gonna
committed to you.
we do things." All right, guys. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
Hasta luego.